So what an amazing topic we have for today, Dr. Faye.
We do. Are we ready?
Turn around. This.
Okay, welcome everybody. I think today's class is probably the most important class that we have ever experienced. It is the most powerful class because words from the tiniest, youngest age, they can make a person grow, they can make a person be fabulous, they can make a person be wonderful, and words can also destroy people. Words can kill lives. Words are power, and they are power in a good way, but they are also power in a bad way. Words can spit venom, poison that will go through your arteries, poison that will go through your body, poison that can destroy you. But words can also take a broken soul and build up a broken soul. So the question for tonight is, what person do you want to be? What person do you want to be? Do you want to be the person that injects venom into people? The person that injects poison into people? Poison that will last forever? Or do you want to be the person that builds a soul? Do you want to be a person that can take a broken soul and bring them up into a wonderful place? And this is something that is global. This is something universal. It doesn't matter what language you speak. It doesn't matter whether you speak English, whether you speak Russian, whether you speak sign language. It doesn't matter what language you speak, but this is a universal pattern. Words can be powerful and words can be terribly destructive. I want to start with like a simple little example, okay? There's a little boy, his name is Natan, random name. Let's call him Johnny, so nobody affiliates it with anybody. A little boy, his name is Johnny, right? And Johnny, he's a little boy. He wants to find favor in his father's eye. So what does he do? He builds a sandcastle at the beach while he's with his father and mother. And he says, Daddy, look, Papa, look at my sandcastle. Isn't it amazing? And the papa says, it's okay. Then he goes to school and he brings home A's. And he says, Papa, look, I brought home A's. Isn't that wonderful? And Papa says, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. That's all he hears. Finally, Johnny gets into Harvard, the greatest school you could possibly get into, to Harvard Law School. Amazing. He calls his father. He says, Papa, I got into Harvard Law School. And Papa says, that's okay. But Johnny continues on. In Harvard Law School, he graduates on top of his class. And who's the person he's going to call first to tell his father that he's valedictorian at Harvard Law School? He's going to call his father. And he calls his father and he says, he's just about to tell his father, he says, hi, Papa. And what does father say? Oh, Johnny, I'm sorry. I'm too busy. I don't have time to talk to you right now. I'll talk to you later. And his father hangs up the phone. Well, guess what? Those words, I'm too busy. I'm too busy. That was the final straw. This is actually a true story. That was the final straw for Johnny. He couldn't take it anymore. He couldn't take it anymore. So Johnny turned to alcohol. Johnny turned to drugs. Johnny ended up killing himself. Johnny, he didn't survive. Why? Because of those words. I'm too busy. All his life hearing, that's okay. That's okay. But then finally, the culmination was that he was going to be the valedictorian at Harvard Law School. And his father did not even get a chance to hear him. Sorry, Johnny, I'm too busy. How powerful are those words? I'm too busy. How hurtful is that? How much does that hurt somebody? So the first thing that I want to point out over here is that words are power. So now, words. Let's talk about words. There are two ways that words are delivered, right? Words are delivered from one person to another person, right? They travel from one person to another person. But there are also, listen to this, it's very important. Words are words that you speak to yourself. What are the words that you speak to yourself? And I want to go there first. I want to go to the words that you speak because it's an easier place for us to go to. The part about talking about people speaking words to each other, the pain inflicted, it's too emotional. Dr. Faye, I'm going to cry when we talk about how much pain can be inflicted with words. So first, I just want to talk about words that we can deliver to ourselves. How can we build ourselves up? So what's very important, very, very interesting, is we've all heard of Gandhi, right? We've all heard, and we all know that Gandhi was a very wise man. We also know that the source of Gandhi's knowledge, the source all comes from the Torah. It's all in the Torah. And what does Gandhi say? Gandhi says, your beliefs, listen closely, your beliefs become your thoughts. Your thoughts become your words. Your words become your action. Your action becomes your value system, and your value system becomes your destiny. So through words, you get to your destiny. What does that mean? That means that the way that you talk to yourself, the way that you believe in yourself, that will be your destiny. If you believe that you are capable of anything, if you say to yourself, I am capable of anything, I can accomplish anything, I am a great person, I am a kind person, I'm a committed person, I can have wealth, I am worthy, I am a good person, I speak good of others. Why? And now we're getting to the part of others. Why do I speak good of others? Because if I speak good of others, I will believe that others are good. And that's why we start with ourselves first. Why? Because we have the power to build ourselves up. And if we can build ourselves up first, then we have the power to build up others. But I want to say that the most important thing to do is first to build ourselves up. Because whatever life gives you, you don't always have the power of what other people are going to do to you. You don't always have the power of what other people are going to say to you, but you do have the power of what you're going to say to yourself. So I want to stress this, very important. Again, if you believe in yourself, you will have actions that show that you believe in yourself. And you will have a value system that makes you believe in yourself. If you believe in yourself, your destiny will be one that is a positive destiny. So the first thing to do is to say, when you talk to yourself, you're doing self-talk. Your self-talk, you are saying, you talk to yourself, you look in the mirror and you say, you are a good person. You are an accomplished person. You can accomplish anything. You are a kind person. You are a committed person. I am a worthy person. You're talking to yourself. You are a worthy person. And I believe that others are good. If I believe others are good, then that will actually happen. Others will be good. I'll create a universe where I believe in good. So that's what we're trying to do over here. We're trying to create, it's called a daily affirmation. And every day you have a conversation with yourself. You speak of love, you speak of happiness. You believe your dreams will come true. I believe my dreams will come true. I am a positive influence on other people. Now, I know I'm stressing this a lot, and a lot of you are thinking, well, words are so important, Dr. Faye. I thought you were going to talk about the words about others. But before we talk about the words about others, let's get ourselves centered. Let's believe in ourselves. And in ourselves, we believe that we will be a positive influence on others. I am a good person. I am a positive person. I am creating a world of positive energy around myself. You follow? So you're already in this bubble of your own where you are believing in yourself. And if you believe in yourself and you believe in positivity, others will believe it also. It travels. Okay. Now, I really believe this. I really believe that positivity is contagious. I believe that a positive word can change a person's day. If I see somebody and I say to them, "Good morning, how are you? How are you? Good morning." I guarantee you that they will turn around and say, "Good morning, also." And if I bump into somebody in Target, but I say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, excuse me, I didn't mean to do that," they will also respond in that way because that's the nature. That is our nature. That if we are positive, other people will receive us in a positive way. Okay? Very, very, very important. Daily talk to whom? Words to whom? To yourself. It is a daily affirmation that you can create your own world. You can create your own environment. You can wake up in the morning and you can say, "Oh my God, another day of going to work." Oh, you can wake up that way. Or you can wake up and say, "Wow, another day for me to make a difference in someone's life. Another day for me to make a difference in my parents' life, in the person I love life." If you wake up in that positive way, another day of having a day that I can make a difference in someone's life, that I can be a positive person, that I can walk out of my bedroom, go outside and smile and give positive energy to people. Very, very, very important. Very important. Of course, we can look at the flip side. I don't like the flip side, but we could look at the flip side. What about that person that does wake up and is very, very negative and says, "Oh, another day"? What does that person do? They walk around another day, they walk out of the house, they're doom and gloom. Life is horrible. I'm miserable. And if I'm miserable, I'm going to make everybody miserable. I'm not going to say good morning to people because people don't deserve for me to say good morning. Why would I say good morning to people? I'm miserable. That is venomous. That is poison. You are literally walking around and you are injecting people with negativity. You are injecting people with a poisonous venom. And it is exactly the opposite of what we want to create. We want to create positivity. We want to create a world where people feel positive, where, it's an amazing thing. We think that we're just ordinary people, but it's not true. Do you know how many people's lives you can change in just one day? How every person that you bump into in that one day, you can change every person's life. You go to pick up a newspaper, you can smile at the newspaper person. You go to pick up your mail, you can smile at the postal worker as they're passing you. You pass a policeman and you can smile at the policeman. You can say hi to everybody and you are giving out positive energy. Very, very, very important. Okay, and now we're going to move in to the moment that we've all been waiting for. Let's talk about words that are painful, words that hurt, words that they don't feel right. Why would a person make someone else feel badly? Why would a person make someone else feel badly? Because of their ego. That person that's making you feel badly, their ego is so low, their self-esteem is so low that the only satisfaction that they can get is by hurting other people. Their ego is so low that in order for them to feed their ego, They have to be right all the time. They are right. I am right. You are wrong. Now, perfect example is what we're going through right now with COVID. Let's talk about COVID for a moment, okay? We all know there's two camps going on right now with COVID. There's the people who believe in masks and social distancing to a great extent. That's one team. And then there's the other team that is the COVID team that doesn't believe in masks, that feels like social distancing, okay, I'll keep away from people, but I'm not wearing a mask because I don't think I need to wear a mask. Now, does anybody really know? Do any of us over here, anybody, my brother, who's head of infectious disease at Cornell Weill, right? He doesn't have the answers. None of us know. But yet, what happens? People are getting into arguments that are unbelievable, saying words to each other that are full of venom, full of animosity, as though they know the answer. Nobody knows the answer. A perfect example, this is happening all the time, is examples of weddings that are happening now. Actual weddings where one side is getting married and they believe we have to have a wedding that's full of social distancing. We can't be near each other. The other side feels, no, we don't have any problem. We're okay with being inside. And this is creating right now problems in relationships that are unbelievable because people have to be right. I am right, you are wrong. Well, guess what? What if there is no right and wrong? What if nobody really knows what's right and what's wrong? Maybe the people that are wearing masks, maybe they are right. Maybe the people that aren't wearing masks, maybe they are right. We don't know who's right. But one thing we do know is that no one has the right to put another person down because they have a difference of opinion. No one has the right to put someone down because their opinion differs from what their opinion is. Now, if someone has this incredible ego, oh, I'm right. I know I'm right. I'm always right. You are wrong. I am right. That is a problem with their personality. Now, what about the recipient, the person on the other end? Well, are they going to accept this put down? You are wrong. You are dumb. You're not smart. You're stupid. This is really what's going on. But it's not correct. It's just not a right thing to do. And we're not talking about this only in COVID times. We're talking about this in general. I'm driving in my car, okay? It says the speed limit is 55 miles an hour. So I'm going 55 miles an hour. Does the person behind me have a right to start tailgating me and briding me and honking their horn and then passing me and doing some motions with their hands that are completely disrespectful and yelling out the window, you stupid driver, you're dumb, you shouldn't be on the road, you're a loser. Now that's a horrible thing to do because I'm driving 55 miles an hour as per the speed limit. Am I a loser? Am I a stupid person? What makes me a bad person? Just because they are saying that to me? Well, so now I have to think to myself, wow, they're saying that to me, but it's not really true. But yet I'm feeling really badly about what they're saying to me. I'm taking it very personally. I'm taking what they're saying personally. Another example, I'm having a date with my friend. We're supposed to go out for dinner. My friend calls and says, oh, last minute. So sorry, I can't make it for our dinner date. I say, oh, wow, I was all ready for it. Somebody's not muted. Good. I feel terrible. I came home early from work. I got dressed. I showered. I'm all so excited about this dinner date. And then the dinner date was supposed to be at 6 o'clock. And the person calls me at 5 o'clock and says, we have no dinner date, but I killed the day at work. I already ran home. I showered. And I feel bad, but okay, they say they can't make it. So I think, okay, they can't make it. And then what? Boom. What do I see on my social media? I see my friend just posted on their WhatsApp status that they're out in a restaurant with my other friend. And I'm in horrible pain. I feel terrible. I feel insulted. I feel hurt. I feel put down, right? Now, should I feel bad? I do feel bad. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to give you another example. So far we have, I'm driving slowly. This person is telling me I'm a loser. I shouldn't be driving. Now I'm ready to go out for dinner. Somebody backs out on me and I feel really bad about that. How about this one? I'm in the middle of teaching a class. I have a great audience. I'm teaching a class. I think it's going so well. And suddenly I notice that somebody, Rebecca Hudson will definitely identify with this. Suddenly I notice as I'm teaching my class, somebody is busy texting. And I think to myself, oh no, I'm a terrible speaker. This person is texting. I'm really boring. They're not really enjoying what I'm saying. And I take it very, very, very personally, right? Or I'm sitting at a table with a bunch of people. I tell them a story about what happened to me that day. And suddenly nobody's really paying attention. And I feel like a loser. My story is not really a good story. Nobody's listening to me. And I feel really, really awful. So I feel terrible. What is all this about? This is like key. This is key. And memorize these words. You ready? Memorize these words. When that happens to you, someone passes you and calls you a loser. Someone backs out on you and it ends up on social media and they say, well, you're just not as exciting as this person that I could have gone out with. Or you're telling a story and no one is listening. Memorize these words. It's not about me. It's not about me. That person passing me in the car, calling me a loser, it's not about me. They have some other issues going on in their life. Somebody's sitting over there texting right under my nose as I'm giving a class. Well, guess what? It's not about me. Something is going on for them on their texting, whatever that may be, but it has nothing to do with me. Why is this so important for us to recognize those words? It's not about me, because that will stop the pain of what we're feeling when somebody is being mean to us. When somebody is calling me a dummy, a loser, a nerd, some horrible words. They're saying terrible things to me. If I could only say it's not about me, then I'm okay. I'm okay. Because what? Their venom is not being injected into my body. Their venom is not being injected into my skin, because it's not about me. It's their problem. It's their ego. They need to be right. Oh, you're driving 55 miles an hour in a 55 mile an hour zone. You could be driving 60. You won't get a ticket. I'm right. You're wrong. They have to be right. It's about their ego. It's their problem. Now, if it's their problem, why do you have to be upset about their problem? It's not about you. It's that person that backed out on me and went out on a date with somebody else and posted it on social media. It's not about me. That's their problem. That person that's sitting there and texting in front of me, that's not about me. It's their problem. It's not about me. It's so important. Well, if it's not about me, why am I taking it so personally? Great question. If it's not about me, why am I taking it so personally? Why am I crying about it? Why do I think it's about me? Why am I suddenly doubting myself? Why am I thinking, oh, I am a loser. I am a nerd. I am a dummy. I am stupid. Why am I even thinking those words? What happened to my self-talk that I just had this morning? What happened to my self-affirmation that I had this morning? Remember the beginning of our talk over here? Where's my self-affirmation? Remember our self-affirmation. I am worthy. I am capable. I am smart. I can accomplish anything. I can change worlds. I can make people feel good. What happened to my self-affirmation? Why did that go out the window? Well, it shouldn't go out the window. You didn't do a good enough self-affirmation. Self-affirmation is so important because you need to be centered. Because all of these people that are ready to inject venom into you, that are ready to inject you with poison, they're all over the place. There are so many people out there that have so many ego issues. And because they have their own ego issues, who are they going to take it out on? They're going to take it out on you. And if they find a person that is a great target, they're going to use you over and over again. How come? Why is it that we always find that people that are targeted, people that are bullied, right? Why is it that they're bullied and rebullied and rebullied? Why are they always the target over and over again? Because these bullies find them. These bullies look for them and they find that person that they can inject their venom to, and they will find you. So what do you need to do? You need to build yourself up. You need to believe in yourself, and you need to believe in yourself. Now, I want to say something else. What were those important words I said? It's not about me. It's not about me. It's not about me. But get this, watch this. If I come over to you and I say to you, you're an orange, you're an orange, you're an orange. Are you going to be upset that I called you an orange? Nobody cares. You call me an orange. I'm not going to care that you called me an orange. I know I'm not an orange. Oranges are in my refrigerator. I know I'm not an orange, so I'm not going to be upset about it, right? I don't care because I'm not an orange. Well, how come when someone calls me a moron, or someone calls me a nerd, or someone calls me a dummy, or someone calls me stupid, how come I take that personally and I'll get hurt and I'll cry, and I'll lay in my bed at night and cry for someone calling me a nerd or someone calling me stupid or a dummy? Why will I cry? You know why? Because there is that little tiny part of me, my little tiny insecurity that says, maybe I am stupid. Maybe I am a nerd. Maybe I am a loser. And that little bit of maybe I am that person, maybe I am a loser, that little bit blows up inside me. And suddenly, what that person is saying is so painful because that little bit of the possibility that maybe I am a loser is going to make me think maybe I am a loser. I know I'm not an orange, so I didn't have any issue with that. But maybe I am a loser. Maybe I am a nerd. That little thing makes me start second guessing myself.
Dr. Faye, I have a question though.
At this point, sure.
So like everything that you were saying, it makes sense. You know, you don't want to let someone control you and the way you feel about yourself. But at the same time, you could say it's not about me. But how do you let the person know that you want respect and you're not supposed to like allow someone to disrespect you, and they have to know that there has to be a level of respect?
That is such a great question. And that was exactly the direction that I was starting to move in. That is such a great question. So there is the beauty of this. What is the beauty? Well, strategy one that we talked about was it's not about me, right? But strategy two was that maybe what they're saying, maybe there's a little bit of truth to it. My insecurity is telling me maybe there's a little truth to it. What is the beauty of your question? I love your question. The beauty of your question is that you now have the opportunity to have a conversation with this person. You have a conversation with this person, and you're able to say to them, you know, what you said to me really hurt me. It triggered me. You said to me that you think I'm dumb. Could we talk about that? Let's talk about I am hurting. And if that person loves you and that person cares about you, that person will have a conversation with you. And that person, you have the opportunity. You're you're being very vulnerable. You trust them enough to be vulnerable with them and to say, you know, when you said that to me, when you tell me I'm a loser, it reminds me so much of when my father used to tell me I'm a loser. Or it reminds me so much of when my mother would tell me I'm a loser. When my mother would say to me, you're never going to amount to anything. What you just said to me, it hurt me so much that it took me back to my childhood. And I love you. I don't want to be in that place. I want to build a relationship with you that's about respect. I want to build a relationship with you where we respect each other. And when you call me a loser and you tell me I'm stupid, or you call me a dummy and you call me names, I don't feel respected. I want you to respect me. I'm going to tell you something very important. Words are so powerful, so powerful. Why? Because once those words come out of your mouth, you can never, ever, ever take them back, ever. No apology will ever make up for the words that come out of your mouth. It's impossible to get an apology because it doesn't cut it. Recently, somebody did hurt me very, very, very much. And I was in terrible, terrible pain, terrible. And then they apologized. Now, I know the apology was sincere. They really, I know that they apologized and it was a sincere apology. But you know what? For me, it didn't matter. The pain of the hurts still stays with me now. It stays a very long time. It's very hard for the hurt to go away. So I always tell couples when they're going out and they're in the relationship already, whether they're advanced in their dating or wherever they are, please just be so careful with your words, because once you call somebody a name, once you say to them, oh, you dummy, oh, you're so stupid, once you do that, it's over. You don't have the words were said, the words were said. But what I will say is that if they were said, and if you are triggered, take advantage of that and use that as a jumping point for having that conversation. I am very sensitive when you tell me I'm stupid. I'm very sensitive when you start giving me direction, because we have to understand that no one is better than another person. No one. No one on this on our group over here, no one in the group has the right to tell another person, I am smarter than you. Because you know what? We're all adults. When a child is 5 years old and you want to teach a child good habits, you want to teach a child how to clean themselves, cleanliness, respect, you want to teach them manners. Okay, that's a child. But two adults, you can't teach another adult something. You can have a conversation with another adult. You can say, I think you need to wear more deodorant. You have BO. Okay, it's a conversation. That's a conversation. But these are conversations. Or I think you need to talk to your parents more nicely. It's a conversation. But no one has the right to impose their belief system on another person. Okay, Rabbi, do you want to add on words for a moment before we open it up to a conversation?
That's probably the most important conversation. And sometimes I say that the power of speech is that the creator of the world created his world with words. Let there be light, and was light. And he created us in his image with the power of speech. So we create our worlds with our words. And one rabbi said, so too, we can also say to ourselves, let there be light. And when there is a dark moment of difficulty, and you just remember this power of light, you will go through darkness. You will turn the darkness into light by speaking to yourself or saying to yourself, let there be light. It's our choice. And also, Dr. Faye, another thing I remember, somebody embarrassed me publicly. I fired somebody who was working for me many years ago. He went on the Russian radio and he was very saying things. And someone said to me, do you want to get on the radio and speak? Answer him? No. And then we met. It was World Trade Center in a big meeting, and there were many, fancy journalists and community leaders. And I saw he was standing there. And I said to myself, the rabbis say, Have Magdim Sholom Lekol Odam. You need to be the first one to say Sholom. You need to welcome anybody. And I said, what does it mean, anybody? Even him. And I went myself first, and I gave him my hand. He didn't accept it. It was his choice. But I knew that I was right by firing him, and he was right by hurting. And when we met the second time, I did exactly the same, and he did accept my hand. So in other words, I think that the power of positivity can break walls of hatred.
So, right now, Rabbi, for me, when I thought about doing this topic about power of words, initially I thought about the power of words just among people in general. But as I was thinking about it and doing my research, I realized that words from strangers don't really hurt. Stranger words don't really hurt. It doesn't really bother us. That part, I can do it's about me when it's from a stranger. So I thought that for tonight's class, I really wanted to focus more on relationship words, about how important relationship words are. That when we're in a relationship, and Rabbi, you can identify with this because you have a wife. I can identify with this because I had an amazing, amazing husband. And I think in relationships, it's very different than among strangers. Stranger words are one thing, but intimate partner words are of such value. They hurt so much, and they bring us back to a place in our childhood that was so hurtful for a lot of people. And that's why right now for tonight, it's about intimate partner words. It's intimate partner. Now for Shlomo and Shlomo was an amazing person. Why? Because honestly, in all the years I was married to him, and it was a lot of years, never once, never did Shlomo call me a name. Never did. And he was a brilliant person. He was brilliant. He was rich. He was successful. He was everything anybody would want to be. He had everything. And he could have, and I was a math teacher or a teacher. I was a stay-at-home mom. I took care of the children. He could have many, many times walked into the house and said, wow, you're a lousy cook. Wow, you don't know how to warm up food. So many things. Never. And I think that if I had to talk about Shlomo and talk about his best attributes, his kindness was wonderful. I know, Rabbi, you love talking about Shlomo's chesed. His generosity was unbelievable. He was but really, the absolutely most wonderful thing about Shlomo was the way that he spoke to me. I was his princess. I was his queen. And he would just never call me any kind of name. And if he would have, I think I would have remembered it for the rest of my life. So I think for me, I'm ready to answer questions about intimate partner words. How do you refrain? How do you control yourself from saying to your partner, you're an idiot, you're dumb, I know so much better than you. Why are you doing that? Don't you get it? I would like to, that's the question I want to get to. How do you refrain from doing that? How do you control yourself when this is the person that's living with you? Who else are you going to yell at? That's the person you're going to yell at. You live with them. You're not going to go yell at your clients. You're not going to go yell at your patients because you're going to lose them. It's going to hurt your parnasa. It's so much easier to come home and just yell at your spouse. You're not going to lose them. They're stuck. So that's why for me, it is so important to talk about the importance of respect between a two-person relationship. That is the ultimate most important thing. Now, what do you need to do? If you're feeling angry and you're feeling like you're just going to go at the other person, step away. Get out of the room. Get out of that place, because that damage that's done can never be undone. I'm open to comments, questions.
I put 2 books in the chat. I don't know if you've heard of them, called Nonviolent Communication and Toxic Parents. As being a psychologist yourself, I was just curious. I thought those were relating, so I just put that as recommendations.
Good. Thank you. Thank you. You know, also, I'm so glad you spoke, Julia, because, you know, remember that this kind of words and this kind of talk, it doesn't come from no place. It comes from history. It comes from what you grew up with. If you saw your parents or heard your parents calling each other's names, of course that's what you're going to do. And that's really hard. Like what I'm talking about is so difficult. How do you create a new world for yourself when that's what you grew up with? I was very lucky. I was really, really very lucky. I never even knew my mother's name was Eva. Why? And I never knew my father's name was David. Why? Because they absolutely never called each other by their names. In Hungarian, to say honey, you want to call a person, the word is draga. Draga. All I ever heard my parents call each other was Draga. So I thought my father's name was Draga, and I thought my mother's name was Draga. I never knew what their real names were.
That's cute.
So I have been very, very fortunate in that way, that the picture for me was a very clear picture because they gave it to me. So it was very easy for me to carry that over into my relationship with my husband because I had it. But what about for people who don't have it and they want to recreate it? They want to rather create it. I had to only recreate it. What about people who want to create it in their relationship? Well, it's a lot of work. It's a very mindful practice. It's very, very conscious. And if one person finds the other person doing that, they have to say immediately, we're not allowed to do that. Part of our contract is not to speak to each other disrespectfully. Now, is this all too much for everybody to handle, or is it okay?
Dr. Faye, I think it's overwhelmingly important. But as much as you said how to control yourself, maybe I have a glass of water, and sometimes when you want to say something, just breathe and drink, and think before saying. But also you said words that were said hurt. And I identify with you. I'm sure everybody identifies with this because certain words that were said, and then the apologies were issued. And you said, okay, don't worry about it. Actually, Rabbi said you need with your words say, I forgive you. Yeah. It's internal work of forgive you. But still, I think there are two-way street. One way is how not to hurt with words of others. Also how not to get hurt. You said one way, just don't believe it. It's not about you. But on the other hand, when loved ones say to you, people close to you say to you, it hurts so much. So what do you do then?
It's a really good question. So again, strategy 1 is it's not about me, but strategy 2 is maybe there is some little truth to that. So can we have a conversation about that? I hear you. You think I didn't do the right thing, but you hurt me very much in the way that you said it. Can we talk about it? Now, I want to tell you something. I'm going to share with you also something very personal about myself and Shlomo. Of course, we had differences of opinion, and we didn't want to ever have differences of opinion in front of our children. So what we did is we created a room, a different room, that if we had a difference of opinion, we had a signal between each other that we need to go to the other room. And that was our arguing room. That was the room, that was our difference of opinion room. So that if we ever motion to each other that we need to go to the difference of opinion room, that I never liked, to tell you the
Did
truth.
your kids ever catch on? Sorry.
I never liked that room at all.
No. Did the kids ever catch on to that?
Never.
Really? Never. Even as they got older?
Yeah,
wow.
Interesting. They never caught on. I passed it on to them when they got married. I told them that this is what we did so that they could use it also as well. But they absolutely never caught on. Also, you have to know that when you're going through stressful times, these things are going to happen. You're going to have differences of opinion because you're living together. Life can be stressful a lot, especially now. But in general, financial reasons, family reasons, illness reasons, elderly parents, elderly grandparents. So you're going to have differences of opinion, job discussions, there's so much, Also, people think that if you're going through a really happy time, it's the easiest time. It's not really true. When you're going through bar mitzvahs and weddings, those end up being the most stressful times. That's what I found, those to be our most stressful times. But again, we had that room, and that was like our contract. That was our boundary room, that if something was going wrong, we didn't do it in front of the children. We went to this private room and spoke over there. So I think that that's a very important thing to do as well. I also, again, oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No. I think, as I'm listening, it brought me to something that I saw one time. They did a research study. They said if you're gonna fight, sit down and eat, and then have the fight, because they say when you're hungry, forget it, you're off the walls.
I totally agree with that. I think
if you're gonna decide to have a disagreement, do it over a meal, so this way you're not at each other's throats.
I totally agree with you. I think that when people are hungry and when they are tired, that is not a good time to decide to have a conversation. I know that there is this saying that says, never go to sleep angry. Guess what? You can quote me on this. I am just the opposite. I will say, go to sleep angry. Do not deal with it at night. Go to sleep angry. Do not have your fights at night. It is the worst thing. You're tired. You're going to say things you don't really mean. Go to sleep. When they say never go to sleep angry, no. Go to sleep and deal with it in the morning. After you've had a good night's sleep, then you can have your conversation.
You could always say, hey, this is the argument.
Say that again. Say again. Say again.
You could always say, hey, we're having sorry.
Your words are so powerful that it's echoing, Arena. That's how powerful they are, I think.
What I was going to say, sorry about that. I mean, you don't have to have the argument before bed, because then you can't sleep, the person can't sleep, but you could always say, love you regardless, we'll figure it out, we'll talk tomorrow when we're more calm and clear-headed.
I love that. Let's leave it alone for now, and let's talk about it in the morning.
Dr. Faye, but I think that the reason why people say don't go to sleep angry, it is because we have a Jewish tradition, custom, law, before saying Shema at night to say, and here I am forgiving to everybody who hurt me in my honor, my body, my property, and no one should be punished because of me. My mother, by the way, insisted very much, and sometimes class 101 of Judaism began from that. Like was like her thing. I remember, I think Sklonem Rebbe, Rabbi Portugal, right, the person who get thousands of people, I think orphans. His son revealed that once he was not able to go to sleep, and he was not able to go to sleep. Like in the middle of the night, son came to him and said, "What did you do, Tati?" And he said, "Why are you not going to sleep?" He said, "Someone stole the money. I gave money to Jews in Romania. He ran from communist to Romania, and I was transferring money to help poor Jews in Romania, and someone, the middleman, a Jew, stole this money, and I cannot go to sleep before I forgive him. And then he went to sleep because he was able to forgive.
Interesting.
He did not want to allow himself to go to sleep until he relieved the anger from his heart.
Very interesting. So, Rabbi, so what do you suggest if a couple is having a hard time? I like the idea of just saying, let's leave
Not
it
to talk.
alone and let's discuss it in the morning.
Of course. Of course.
Rabbi, you know, I have to tell you something. As I'm watching you on the beach,
Oh,
really, really, I have to say that that also is one of the things that is very helpful when you're feeling very upset. It's about virtual imagery. Now, I
yes.
look at Rabbi, I have no idea what's going on in his life right now.
Do you know why I did it, Dr. Faye?
And I'm seeing the ocean and I'm seeing the palm tree. And Rabbi, you are creating a sense of peacefulness for me. And even though this conversation is a very hard conversation, it's very difficult to talk to people about people being mean and people having the wrong words. But I love your beach, Rabbi. I love your
I know,
the
Dr.
beach.
Faye, you know why I started this class with this. And here's my mother. Her yahrzeit was just on Friday. And I made a few classes in her memory. She was speaking about power of forgiveness. But then we started speaking about power of words. And then I said to myself, as a result, I said, we're waiting for Dr. P. My apology again. I didn't know about these procedures that were instituted. And I said, oh no, we're going to do something bright. And I said, we're going to do this as a symbol of power of words, right?
I love it.
I did because of the topic.
You know what? It's actually working because I think words are so incredibly painful. But looking at the ocean and looking at the blue sky and having this virtual imagery of peacefulness, I think that with our words, we could be so careful and refrain from saying what we want to say if we could only take ourselves in our mind to a place that is peaceful, to a place that's kind. Because think about it. Why do you want to hurt a person that you love? Okay, you know what? If you want to yell at somebody that's driving in the car by and you don't know them, who cares? It's a stranger thing, you know? But intimate partner, why would we ever want to hurt somebody that we love? We love them. We want to be married to them. So I think for that, we have to find every way possible to avoid hurting somebody that we love. And words, again, they can spit venom. They can put poison through your whole body, but words can mend a broken soul. Words can bring somebody up. They can give life. And whatever we create in our environment with our words, it becomes completely contagious. Anybody walking into your home, anybody being around you, they will be so happy to be around you because you're saying kind words. You have good things to say. So those are my words for tonight, Rabbi. I wish for everybody, including myself, to have the strength to always be able to say kind words, to have the strength not to say bad things to people. And every time that I get upset and I can control myself and not use bad words, I always congratulate myself. I say, you know what, that's a good job. That's a good job of making people feel good. And that's a good job of not saying anything to make anyone feel bad because nobody deserves to be hurt. And on that note, yes.
I had a question, but it was more relating to Rabbi Katzen. I feel bad I don't bother you enough with my questions. I know there's the Havetz Chaim that also speaks on this topic of Lashon Hara, but do you have any like recommendations on what books I can read of his that are like really good?
Havetz Chaim. Wow.
Yes.
Wow, what a beautiful idea. I believe the most beautiful, powerful books of Rabbi Zelek Pliskin on the power of speech. Rabbi Zelek Pliskin. I will share them
I've
with
heard
you.
of him too.
Yeah, because they're very practical and they give you, I believe, by the way, Dr. Faye, I think, answered. She said, first of all, you need to learn how to speak with yourself. And then you learn how to speak with others. If you speak with yourself with respect and dignity, that's how you learn also to speak with others. So be aware of your self-talk. That's an idea. But I think Dr. Faye also, because when I asked Dr. Faye about how do you forgive when someone hurt you, very possible that the very words that you say, I forgive you, it's not only about the person who hurt them, but it's about you saying them and hearing them as well. It may also be a power of you saying them and hearing them. Dr. Faye, it was most important, unbelievable class that I ever heard. I want to thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody, have a wonderful week.
Good night.
Thank you, Dr. Faye.
Wonderful.
I enjoyed the class. Thank you. It was
Thank you.
helpful.
Share on
Very
the
helpful.
great and pleasant words and smiles
Great.
and positive images as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank
Thank
you,
you so
everybody.
much.
Have a good night.
Thank you.